Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And this is our review of Dragged Across Concrete.
And don't worry, it's not about Tony Hawk. It's about a movie. It also, like to me, when you said Dragged Across Concrete, I also thought it could be a fucking leftover song from Metallica. It's like, Dragged Across Concrete. Ooh, ow, ooh, ow, 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 ow. Ow! Oh my God! Dragged across that concrete.
It's Dragged Across Concrete. It's Craig Zahler's newest film. And am I even saying that fucking right? Fuck my ass with a donkey.
Won't do it.
I won't do it either.
Not unless you're paid.
Donkeys are expensive, and I don't have the time. Craig Zahler directed a new movie. The first movie we saw, we actually reviewed by him, Bone Tomahawk. Badass Kurt Russell,
movie, yeah.
old school Western cannibal film. That's like it's a whole genre.
It is.
And next film, Brawl in Cell Block 99, which you have yet to see.
I want to see it.
I've been screaming its praises, begging Jay to watch it.
Brawl in Cell Block 99 sounds like something that the WWE would put on pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's
That's what I thought it was for at first. When you said that, I was like, I don't watch pay-per-view.
Dude, I could rave about that movie for hours, but we won't. We'll go on into this one. Now, this one stars the greatest Mel Gibson. Despite how you all feel about Mel Gibson, despite how anybody feels about Mel Gibson, the fact remains is that, in my opinion, he is the greatest actor of all time.
Yeah, and he's an untapped resource for Hollywood. I mean, it's like a fucking gold mine in your backyard, and you're like, I don't care about gold. I'm into silver. I'm sorry. I love him.
But yeah,
then Vaughn of Vince is in this. Vince Vaughn.
I like Vince Vaughn too. You gotta respect Vince Vaughn, man, because he had a all of a sudden successful career in comedy, and then he was like, no, I'm gonna be a serious actor now. And everybody's like, fuck you, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna do it anyway. He didn't. When he does these serious roles, he doesn't seem like he gives a fuck that anybody doesn't want him to do that, or people just want him to do comedy. Obviously, he did Psycho a while back. He did other movies. He did Domestic Disturbance with John Travolta. He did this one here, and he did Brawl in Cell Block 99. For me, is his best serious performance for sure. But he was really good in this too. So in this one, you got two buddy cops, and this is out on VOD now. It was supposed to be a wide release in theaters, but the movie comes in at a running time of 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Long ass movie.
Yeah, almost 3 hours long, and the studio wanted the director to cut the movie down, and he said no. And guess what, bitch? I have final say in my contract. So they said, okay, guess what, bitch? We're gonna release this in a few theaters and straight to VOD.
And then he was like, well, guess what, bitch?
And he was like, yeah, you a bitch. And then guess what, bitch? All the fans around the world, all the audience, we can all watch this movie right now.
It's a bitch, girl.
But the bitch came back. We can all watch this for $6.99 on VOD right now, and it's totally fucking worth it.
Look,
man.
the thing is, it's like dark blue mixed with Training Day mixed with I don't know what's another fucking.
Brawl in Cell Block 99.
I've never seen that one.
Bone
so I
Tomahawk.
can't use it. Dark. It's like, oh no, I know what it is. It's
Bloodfather.
Yeah, kind of. It's dark blue, Training Day, and Crash, the movie with Matt Dillon. It's kind of got all those elements. Yeah,
I don't like that one.
Yeah, but it's kind of like that. I mean, there are some things in it. I know you want to. So, there are things in it that kind of borrow from each one of those particular films, and they make it, and they have a cauldron, and they fucking make this awesome shit happen. And it's violent. For sure, it's violent, and there's a lot of shit that goes on, and it might not be for the weak-hearted or the people that get offended by paper bags. You might not want to do it, okay? Paper or plastic, fuck you, just give it to me raw. but
not the first time you said that.
Every time.
Come on, just give it to me raw, Dave.
Straight up.
Just do it.
Where's the lotion? You want to wrestle? But yeah,
you want to wrestle?
It's got all that stuff in it, and and maybe there's some blowback on some of the things about it, but I don't want to get into that. I just want to talk about how badass and great the film is overall, how well it's shot. It's got this dark, dreary action thing going for it, and it's got an amazing chemistry between Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson. Yeah, Gwar shows up at the end of the movie.
I said Noir.
I thought you said Gwar. I was like, yeah, Gwar shows up and they fucking rattle the cages. We're gonna eat you, Mark. Yeah, but yeah, it's got all that cool, and to see Mel Gibson, I don't know, it's kind of like Mel Gibson just embracing.
It's fucking old school, dude.
Yeah, and he's embracing, and I think that's what it is. It's a play on the 80s and early 90s action films, and that's what Mel Gibson's all about, and he loves that stuff. And it's not that Mel Gibson only exists in that realm. Mel Gibson can do a shit ton of other things. I mean, he's proven that. He's directed.
Man Without a Face?
Yeah, I loved it. Oh my god.
Jesus.
What was it? What did he call that boy? Rorschach? I don't know. His little ward of the anyway. But anyway.
Forever Young. Oh my god. It's a good one.
Get over here.
I love that film.
Stop it. You're gonna turn people on. But the thing is, and the story is basic. It's a little long. it's a little long, but at the same time, it works for the film.
Yeah. For those of you out there who are going, what are these bitch tits babbling about? I'm tit right, you're tit left. In their eyes.
That's okay.
We're both tits. But no, what are these bitch tits rambling about, you might be asking yourself. So the movie's about this. You got two cops. They're both old school cops. Vince Vaughn's 20 years younger than Mel Gibson's character in the movie, but they're both old school cops at their core. They go to do a bust, and they're a little bit rough on a dude. So this dude, he films them because it's 2018, and they get suspended from the force, but their boss, who's literally fucking Don Johnson's like, listen, you didn't do bad enough for me to fire you. I'm just going to suspend you. So they get suspended, and there's this whole conversation.
He does look like a principal that would suspend you. Yeah, Don Johnson really just looks like that. Assistant ninth grade principal. Or like a police captain, but he's like a calm, cool, collected police captain. If you remember his character as the warden in Raw in Cell Block 99, it's a small role for him here, but it's just as cool. But no, he's their captain, and he's like, we're just going to suspend you. So they both get suspended. Mel Gibson's wife has MS. They live in a shitty part of town, and his daughter has been assaulted 5 times in the past couple of years. They need to get out. They need money to get out. Vince Vaughn wants to propose to his wife and give her a better life, so he needs to make some money too. And now they're suspended for 6 weeks without fucking pay. So what they decide to do is they decide to basically do what they do for a living, but actually take the money off of these drug dealers and keep it. So they start staking out this drug deal, and then things get wacky fucking cuckoo, and I'll leave it at that. It's got comedy elements in it, and they, like I said, the chemistry between Vaughn and Gibson is like, it really is. They play off each other really well. I didn't think they would, and at first when I was watching, I was like, yeah, it's not really working. But then as it goes on and it delves more deeper into their relationship, it's like, okay, I get it. And the thing, it gets like, when I say violent, like it doesn't start off that way, but then once like they really start showing the graphic natures of it, I'm like, fuck yes, I like that. It's like, hello mommy, hello daddy, cherry bomb. But it was like, fuck yeah. I mean, it was cool though. I mean, and once, because there's like a bank robber thing going on, and they're wearing masks and stuff. And it kind of reminded me of Heat, like some of the shit. Not as like, it's not epic. Like Heat's epic, but I mean it's up there. Like, but it's way more violent than Heat. But it's kind of got those elements in it. It's got, like I said, it borrows from so many elements of so many different genres of those kind of films that it works so well. Man, I was blown away. Like I didn't like 30 minutes in. I'm like, all right, it's. Can we get there? Can we get there? Can we get there?
It's a slow. It goes at its own fucking pace. Yeah, man. And you gotta be along for the ride.
Fuck what you said.
There might be 1 or 2 points. There might be a 45-second jazz interlude where someone's just taking a piss and there's jazz music playing.
Street corner.
You gotta be all right with that if you want to fucking ride in this car. Okay?
I like. You gotta
be all right with it.
He's fucking that one girl at the very beginning of that Street Corner song. I was like, you know what? I'll probably do that. Street corner.
It's got the same kind of soundtrack feel that Brawl in Cell Block 99 had as well. And look, like. Here's the thing about the movie that pisses people off, and we'll get to what people are talking about when you get to Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that. We're not going to go into the political aspects or any of that shit like that, but some people are upset because, look, the bad guys, and I'm not talking about the two main characters, the buddy cops, because it's a buddy cop movie, but you've also got a little bit of that imperfect hero. What do you call it?
Vigilante.
Yeah.
The gray area.
Yeah, that little gray area between your two leads. Like, they're not supposed to be perfect guys. Actually, the movie, in a way, a couple times sees them as bad guys. They're not supposed to be these perfect people that you root for. You root for them because you get to know them and you know their situations.
Punisher.
And they're not all the way down to the ground bad guys. Yeah. But yeah, there's that gray area there before them. They're tainted heroes in a weird way.
Taint.
But taint. But then you got the bad guys, and these are the really bad guys. Now, these really bad guys are fucking racist, and they say horrible shit, and they say awful stuff. Now, the two cops that are imperfect are very, 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 like, old school, like very old school. Like they say some shit that's gonna push the line, that's gonna offend some people. Like, I'm not gonna watch this fucking movie because they're parading this, that. And if you're politically offended easily, then you might not like this movie.
You might want to go fly a kite.
Here's why it doesn't bother me. This movie, from beginning to end, is meant to be and is fucking old school. Now, back in the 80s and early 90s, you go back and watch some of those movies. The shit that they said and got away with is fucking insane. And back then, like, people said way worse shit. But because this movie came out today, and it was intended to be an old school action drama, buddy cop, dark noir thriller, and but it was supposed to feel old school like that. They say some shit that you won't see in other movies. I can appreciate that because we don't get it every day. But some people who are easily offended, you won't like it.
Well, I mean, you know, and looking at it as far as yeah, they said some stuff and it's bad, but at the same time, I'm just enjoying the movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just enjoying a break from fucking reality. I don't need my movies to have a socio-political fucking commentary on every goddamn track. I don't need that. I'm enjoying the movie. And yes, I mean, maybe they were making a statement in the movie. I don't know. I'm just enjoying the fact that Mel Gibson's back in a role that he's very natural in, and he's doing a great job, and the directing is awesome and superb, and it's shot really well, and Vince Vaughn is doing a great thing.
If the director's trying to make a statement, a political statement,
maybe, I don't know.
I don't give a fuck. If you're offended because you watched a movie, I don't give a fuck. I fall in between. I don't care if he's trying to make a statement. I don't care if you're offended. I enjoyed the fuck out of this action movie. It felt old school.
Yeah.
The heroes weren't perfect. They did some shit that I do not agree with. They said some shit that I do not agree with. But since when do we have to agree with everything people do in movies?
Just get along, motherfuckers.
Yeah. So that just wraps that part of it up. Let's take that basketball, bounce it down the court, and you guys can play with that.
LeBron James?
Argue and fight.
I'll dunk it.
But as a fucking movie, man, it was really cool to see an old school action movie, some buddy cop comedy, Vince Vaughn, Mel Gibson.
I like to
work together really well.
I want to say things about Vince Vaughn. Like, Vince Vaughn, like, he is very serious in the movie at some points, but he's got the classical Vince Vaughn, like, cool, he's smooth motherfucker all the time. He's just smooth. Like, he always looks like he's gonna sell you a waterbed, and you don't even want a waterbed, but he's gonna sell it to you on it. At the end of the day, I mean, dude, I give the movie a 9. I enjoyed it that fucking much, even though the length was a bit. And I understand, like, it's your vision and you want to keep, you know, everything that you worked on to keep it all in one, like, you know, single take. And you don't want to, like, have studio involvement, be like, well, cut this out, cut this out, cut that out. I get that. But, I mean, there are some things, like, maybe cut this part, like, tiny bits of it because it does slow down the progress of the film. However, the fact is, oh yeah, and Michael Jai White's in it. I haven't seen him in fucking forever,
cool.
and he was cool. Like, everything was good. Like, dude, I loved everybody in the film, even the bad guys. Like, I thought the bad guys were so like mean. Yeah, and that's what you know. What the thing is,
bad guys to be mean.
Yeah, and that's what I don't want them to be kind of like. Well, they have like a disturbed childhood, and their dog died one time. Yeah. Like, I don't want like fucking to feel for them. I want them to be like, you know, like the guys were, like, in masks and just saying disturbing, fucked up things because they can and they want to, just to throw you off, throw a wrench in your plans.
Yeah.
I loved all that stuff, and the fact that, like you said, you don't see stuff like this anymore. You don't see stuff like coming out in the big theater with stuff like just throwbacks and just having fun and whatever. So yeah, a 9.0, man, and it sucks that you like. Mel Gibson, this isn't going to be like a giant movie. Like, it's never going to be like in the spotlight for anything except for like obvious things for people saying it's this or that or whatever, and using it for fodder for news articles and clickbait. But the thing is, the movie's great. Mel Gibson's great. Vince Vaughn's great. It is somewhat a social commentary, but the fact is, you don't even need to look at it like that. Just look at it as a cool action flick that everybody's having a good time watching.
It keeps you on this constant. It's Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones did the greatest thing ever when they ended their spoiler alert for Game of Thrones real quick, when they ended their first season with their best character fucking getting his head chopped off.
Who the fuck was it? I haven't seen.
As soon as they chopped off fucking Sean Bean's head,
oh, man,
the rest of the fucking entire show, you're going, man, fuck, anything can happen. Nobody's saying it.
By 5th season, you're like, what about Sean Bean?
Yeah. So, like,
what about Sean Bean?
Anything can fucking happen. It was ballsy. No one wanted it, but when they did it, they took that bullet and they set up the rest of their series for success. Zalish films do that. They do some shit. They'll do some mean, fucked up shit. Like, they will take a character that you love and just kill him in a nasty fucking way, just so that you're on edge and you're willing to say anything will fucking happen. It's not like watching Ant-Man. Like, Ant-Man's not gonna get fucking murdered in the movie Ant-Man. You know, it takes something away. This puts all that back in and says anything can fucking happen. And all of his movies, I feel like, do that. And sometimes they're mean, and sometimes they're depraved. But it's these movies, Zayler's movies, are the best movie you can watch if you are a jaded movie fan. If you feel like you've seen everything, if you're tired of shit, if you feel like you can telegraph stuff, if you watch a trailer and you can see the beats, if you're sick of that shit, watch this guy's movies, and especially this one. Sometimes, like you said, the ending's a little bit telegraphed. Sometimes you can sense like this impending doom, like something bad's gonna happen here, and it does. But for the most part, I'd say 80% of the time, 80 to 85% of the time, they surprise you.
Don't give me percentages, goddammit.
And they do something different. Either way, you know they're not going to go with the safe option, and that's really fun to watch. And it's also fun to watch an old school movie it doesn't give a fuck to be mean, because sometimes it's a mean world. So I love it as well, man. I give it an 8.5, a little bit less than you, but I really love the shit out of this movie. And one more thing before and I'm done, but Mel Gibson in this movie, if you're a fan of Mel Gibson, this is payback / Edge of Darkness Mel Gibson. He's very reserved. He's very quiet. He doesn't give an emotional performance at all almost in the entire movie. He's very stone-faced.
But I liked it. I think that was playing into the character that he was playing.
Right, and I'm more of a fan of his emotional roles, but
we had some.
Him and Vince Vaughn were both great in the movie, nonetheless.
Toward the end, he does showcase a little bit of the emotional range that he has, like
But the role called for it.
Yeah,
so I'm not
and
complaining.
I think that yeah, and again he played it beautifully. The fact that the stoic face and the fact that he was just reserved to where he was now. Like, this is my reality. This is my life. This is what I'm going to go through, and this is where I need to get out of. Like, and again. The thing about Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn in this film is that they both are so separate as far as like what they're doing it for and the reasons why they're doing it for or what their motivations are, but they're still good guys deep down. Like, even though like the world is kind of shit in their face and because the world is kind of taking a dump on their mouths, either way, shit in the face, but they still hold true to their core values, and I think that shines through as well at the end. Yeah, man, like, and the thing is, there's not even a score of the movie. Like, there's a score, like, obviously we talked about that, but
it's constant music.
But it's not like in normal movies where they ramp up orchestra or something like that, or let you know that this is drama, or it feels raw, it feels real or something. I don't know. Yeah. And so at the end of the day, man, like again, for sure, do yourself a favor and even rent it now. Like, it's $6.99 to rent. I mean, it's a little pricey, but it's worth it.
Yeah,
it's worth it for sure.
And it's a movie that should be in theaters. It would have been if it were the 90s. Last thing I'll say about it real quick that I just remembered that I want to mention is the reason I give it a little bit lower score than you, the reason I give it an 8.5 out of 10 is, when you get like an old gruff dude who walks into a bar and he sits down and he's like, just tells like an old timer's joke that's just a little bit risky, a little bit fucked up, and you're like, okay, yeah, dude, we get it. You're old and you're gruff and you're a badass. Like, you're a
pirate.
You know what I mean? It's not funny. And you're like, dude, we get it. You're tough. Sometimes this movie's corny in that way, and I just mean sometimes. There's a couple of the jokes that fall flat, and a couple of things the character does that you go, dude, we get it, you're fucking tough. You know what I mean? Like that, like a dad joke. There's a couple dad jokes in there that are meant to be like Old West shit, and that just fall flat. And there's a couple of moments that portray that. But again, that's a tiny little complaint for a movie that was really fucking great, and I sat there for almost 3 hours, completely enthralled. Definitely watch this movie if you like old school action crime films. And that's it. We love your fucking faces. Yeah. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn wham up in you. And free Mel Gibson.
Free him all the time, every day.
Fuck!
God damn it!
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.